I've lived in Hawaii for over 20 years now, and yeah, it's not perfect, but there are a few things I still absolutely love about living out here, and it's why I'm probably never going to move back. And you may find that some of these reasons might bring you out here and help you fall in love with it here as well. The first thing for me is the slower pace of life. Now, when I moved out here, I had lived in Dallas, Texas for pretty much my whole life, and life moved pretty fast. I drove fast, I lived fast, I stayed up late, I partied hard, I did all that stuff. But moving out here forces you to slow down because things just are going to move slower. And yeah, it took a little while to really fit in with that, but once I did, I found that life moved at a much better pace and my quality of life definitely improved. The second thing that I really love is my everyday access to nature. Now, no, I don't go on a jungle hike or lay out at the beach every day, but I do have access to it when I have the time, and it's really easy to get to. I could literally drive 6 minutes from my house and go sit at a beach and watch the waves and get in the water if I want to. And that's something that I just couldn't do without spending hundreds of dollars on flights when I lived on the mainland. I can go to a rainforest, I can see a volcano, I can do all kinds of things out here that I just couldn't do before, and that connection with nature is really, really cool. The next thing that I like is actually the food culture out here. Now, there's not a lot of food options, but I do find that I eat much more healthy than I ever did on the mainland. I do much less fast food, I do much less food from these big chain restaurants that are all around, and you have the ability to eat pretty healthy. And there's a reason that Hawaii has the longest life expectancy in the United States, and it's not our healthcare system. It's because of what you're able to put in your body on a regular basis is going to help you live much more healthy, and I think that's something that everyone can take into account. The fourth thing is that you're surrounded by people who are choosing to be here, especially if you've moved from the mainland like I have. It's a real intentional choice to end up here, and there's sort of a bit of camaraderie that comes with that. Your neighbors help you out. Your neighbors and your friends really become your family of choice, and you have a lot of really deep relationships that come from living out here. We're all sort of isolated on this rock in the most isolated place on earth. We're doing it together, and that sort of brings about some really cool relationships, and you really get to spend some time with people and get to know them in a way that we never did back on the mainland. So that's something that's been really cool for me. Next up is that the weather shapes your entire lifestyle. I used to have summers where it was over 100 degrees and winters where it was freezing and you get in your car and you were shivering and waiting for it to warm up, or you had to park 200 yards away from the store because you found a spot that has a little shade and it would only be 140 when you got into your car. We don't have to deal with that. We have great weather all year round. I can wear shorts every single day. I can live an active lifestyle every single day. Nothing to stop me. For the most part, you can go outside and be comfortable every single day of the year. It really is great. It really shapes your lifestyle in some really positive ways. Finally, the last thing is that there's beauty around you every day in the little things. When you go walking down the street, smelling the plumeria flowers and the fragrances, just every day there's some little thing that you can see, the shade of blue in the ocean in the midday sun. There's just so many little things that you get to experience out here that you don't when you're living in a concrete jungle on the mainland. Even if you're in Honolulu, there is beauty around you all the time, but if you get outside of the cities here, you'll see even more, and it's something that can really be a positive influence on you every single day. Living in Hawaii isn't for everyone, but for me, it's still magic after over 20 years. If you've been thinking about making the change, go ahead and hit like and subscribe. Drop me a comment and ask me any questions that you like. Also, tell me what you love most about living in Hawaii if you're already here. I'd love to hear it, and I bet a lot of people who are watching the video would like to see what you have to say as well. I'm sure I've missed a few things that you're going to like. In the meantime, I got more videos for you up here in the corner.